What's up, y'all? Entropy here. Welcome back to Freeport Tech Dynasty. It's week 12, coming down to our last two games of the season. We're up to number 11 in the country with a 9-1 record, still undefeated in conference play. We've had two really tremendous showings in a row, blowing out, oh, I already forgot who our last two opponents were. Navy was one of them, and the other one was, why am I struggling with this? Tulsa, duh. Blowing both of them out in tremendous fashion, 52-3 and 45-3. Now, part of it is they were both home games. That certainly helped. And neither of them are very good teams. They both have only one conference win. So, really not great competition we faced the last 2 weeks. But as you can see here, we've got a 6-4 FAU squad on the road. So that's going to be quite the test before our, oh boy, our Clash of Titans matchup in Week 13 on the road against Tulane, currently ranked 20th. Of course, Tulane, the team that beat us in the conference championship last year, and then went on to the college football playoff. So we would like a get back at them for sure. We did beat them in the regular season before losing to them in the conference championship. So that kind of made for an interesting setup. And honestly, there's probably a good chance that we would play them in a hypothetical conference championship again anyway. So yeah, this is shaping up to be quite the end of the season here for us. It's all kind of coming to a point. Did I just see that score right? Wait, hang on. I'm not letting that. Where did that go? Was that somewhere? Duke beat Miami 6-3. Number 9 Miami got upset 6-3. Oh my gosh, that is just absurd. Anyway, that completely distracted me. Quincy Porter, the wide receiver for Ohio State, I believe, a guy that I think Michigan tried to recruit in real life, if I remember correctly, currently at number 1, followed by Arch Manning, Darren Knowles, who I assume is a wide receiver for Maryland, because Malik Washington I see down there as their quarterback, and then Tommy Trout we know is Texas's quarterback at 4. So Haas Haney at one time was in the Heisman race, no longer is, but so that's a little bit of a bummer, but his play kind of got worse as he got revealed to be in the Heisman race. So that was kind of interesting. Anyway, back to what I actually wanted to talk about. The recruiting trail the last few weeks has gotten insane with just the amount of guys we've been adding to our board. So the two running backs, Taj Bobo, we're in the lead for. We're getting quite a bit of influence over Louisville even, which is kind of crazy because they have the pipeline. So we have the lead for him. And Cam Skaggs just reached his top 5. It's between us and Stanford. We'll see how it goes. We don't have tremendous grades on his hard sell, but they're good enough that I think, like, we have an A for playing style and a B- for conference prestige. So I think it's good enough that hard sell is the move over just continuing to send the house on him. So we'll see how that goes. Ideally, I would really like to get both of these guys, but at the very least, at bare minimum, I want one of them. Wide receiver recruiting is also kind of crazy. So Braylon Togia did commit, I believe, last week, the gadget receiver. We've been going after him for a while. We're the only school that offered him a scholarship, and we're very excited about bringing in this very talented gadget receiver. Lester Cheek, as you can see, Nebraska has a pretty commanding lead over us. I at least want to get to the top 5 and see if maybe we can get lucky with some really good hard sell grades, and then we can maybe catch up. I don't know. I'm not loving our odds in this recruitment, but given the talent that this guy has, 4-star gem, 6'5", 197 with 88 speed, great route running, great spec catch. All his catching stats are 80 plus. This dude looks absolutely insane. So I'm gonna keep trying for him. Another interesting note: Georgia is now in the race for Philip IU with their tier 4 pipeline as well. So these two guys are two receivers I add to the board. I'm like, oh, no one's really going after these guys. Maybe we have a chance. And suddenly now we're in second for both of them with a much better team ahead of us in both of them. Nebraska, I don't know how they are as a team necessarily compared to us, but they have the pipeline because he's from Lincoln. So yeah, the Philip IU race suddenly, I'm not optimistic about him either. On the right side, Jaden Funchess, we did jump to his number 1 team. He's kind of our backup option here of the group of receivers we added to the board. So, you know, is what it is. If we get him, I'll be very excited. He's basically a dumbed down version of Lester Cheek. He's 6'3", 191, so a little smaller, but he's still 88 speed. His route running leaves a little more to be desired. Catching traffic is a little low at 77 for a contested specialist. I don't love that. Awareness is pretty low too, but Oh well. So yeah, Jaden Funchess is the guy that we have, who we're currently leading for out of the remaining receiver targets. The two tight ends, LaMichael Stovall and LaMarcus Sash. As you can see, we're at 5 for Stovall and 9 for Sash. So we look like we're in a pretty good spot to jump to their top spot, hopefully in this next week here, and we'll see how that goes. Our tight end room is weirdly thin behind Brady Prescorn. We have Eric LeCounte, Chester Elias, who will be back next year, but that's, I think, it. So I will not hesitate to bring in both of these guys if I feel the need to. What else? Edge, Zay Castile. A&M did pass us. I'm bowing out. We're done with him. We're not going to be. We're clearly not going to be able to get to that commit bar before A&M does. It really sucks because I believe I mentioned it when I saw A&M triggered the recruiting battle. I thought we had too small of a gap to the commit bar, and I thought A&M had way too big of a gap to the commit bar to be able to force the recruiting battle. I didn't think they were actually going to get there in time, but somehow they did, and our recruiting visit that we had before that point, I guess, didn't quite go well enough. So A&M passed us. We're back out on him, unfortunately. It really sucks. We've been going after him all season. I thought we were going to be able to get him, but we are not. So I added a number of guys here to the board, and I kind of got caught with not enough hours. So I fully scouted Viliami Queen here, the power rusher from Wayne, New Jersey. 6'5", 259, a massive human being, a power rusher. 86 strength, 83 power moves, 83 acceleration, 81 tackle, 83 speed as well for an edge rusher, 79 pursuit, 81 hit power. This dude is insane. 3 mental abilities coming in as well, including what looks like gold winning time as well. So, yeah, I am going to try for this guy. Unfortunately, Pitt is in his top group and did offer him a scholarship. I don't know how long it will take us to get into his top group, but I'm going to try because he's way too talented to just ignore. And the other two, Devontae Crothers and Isaiah Career, I scouted him one step and had 5 hours, so I just chucked a scholarship his way. He's rated slightly higher than Isaiah Career, but obviously I don't really know either of their attributes and abilities yet. I do see he has at least a silver recoup ability. 76 strength isn't great, but he is a speed rusher, so that isn't necessarily surprising. 67 awareness is not terrible. His finesse moves are potentially really good. I won't know until I fully scout the guy. But I had 5 hours, so I just chucked him a scholarship. So in the next week, hopefully I'll be able to scout both of these guys fully and kind of figure out who to go after. And maybe we'll get into Viliami Queen race as well. Obviously, Vince Kellogg committed a couple, I think two episodes ago now, maybe 3. Quincy Tobin and Larry Sorrell were doing good for our 2 cornerback options currently on the board. Cornerback recruiting continues to be difficult for us, but these 2 guys here we look like we have a pretty good chance of landing them. Oh, Tobin, it looks like if any of those schools get involved, we might be in for it, because look at those pipelines on the right side. Good grief. So yeah, that's where we're at with those 2. And then Dennis Hicks, the 3-star strong safety gem, 6'3", his only knock is that he's slow. We're still going after him. We did jump to his top school as well, so we'll try and keep the pressure on there. So a lot continues to happen on the recruiting trail in these final few weeks, and the biggest bummer is that we don't have any, we have Cam Skaggs here, who I would love to get in for a visit, but we don't have any available weeks. So even though we don't play week 14, we can't have him visit that week, even though I'm pretty sure that isn't conference championship week. I think it's before that, but regardless, so we can't get any of these guys in for a visit, unfortunately. So we'll have to wait until the off season if we get them in for visits at all. So this is going to be a very, very, very fascinating end of the season for us on the recruiting trail. We're going to go white helmet, white jersey, and black pants for this game. And here come the Owls, out to a great 6-4 season already with bowl eligibility, looking to continue the positive momentum they've been having as we play this game in beautiful, do they play in Boca Raton, Florida, or something like that? I think they're in that region. Michigan's basketball coach Dusty May came from there. I think that's where they're from. Flagler Credit Union Stadium is where we are, as the Marlins also take the field. I love FAU's uniforms a lot, personally. There's just something about them, man. I don't know what it is. I like the Florida State on the helmet. I like the numbers on the side of the helmet too. I think that's a nice touch. Obviously, that's part of our uniform set with our military appreciation uniforms. As we're kicking off the start, and they will attempt the return here. Oh, Ben McClure and Cortez Brady, 2 freshmen combined on the tackle. Brought down to the 13-yard line. Marshall and Simmons nominated as our impact players makes complete sense. Looks like they got a great receiver and corner that we're going to have to keep our eye out for. FAU comes out throwing, going to be over the middle, and it's a huge hit from Ostergaard. He actually jarred it loose. That's going to be incomplete. What a hit. It's a handoff, and it's only going to get 4 yards. Ostergaard in on the tackle. Now here comes some no huddle. All kinds of time. It's going to be throw out to the right side. Can we get over there? And it's overthrown. Patterson closed in, and it's going to be 4th and 6, and they're going to be punting. I think I saw Adrian Corcoran on the field. We did see Chester Kafka go down with an injury. Is he out for any extended period of time? It doesn't appear so, so I'm not sure why Corcoran's out there. Okay, I'm looking at our roster here, and it looks like Chester Kafka is just straight up not on here anymore. So I don't know what happened to him. It would appear that he's just straight up not on our roster anymore. I'll have to look when we get back to the main page, because I'm really not sure what happened here. Is it one of those things where if he's injured, like going into the game, he doesn't show up on the injury report, like in the game? I don't know, something. I'll have to look when I get back to the menu, because I don't know where he is, but he's not on the roster, so I can't. He's not going to be playing for us today. Gosh dang. I hope this isn't a glitch. He's been a really good player for us. Ashton Bethel Roman back to receive it. Will take it. Tries to put a move on the defense, or on the kick coverage rather. Brought down at the 49-yard line around midfield. Haas Haney, just shy of 2,000 yards on the season. 25 touchdowns to 13 picks. He's turned the ball over a little bit more than you'd like to see, but he's been very good for us in this season. Okay, he drops back. Can I get that to Watkins over the middle? It's broken up. I tried to buck the trend a little bit and come out throwing, but it didn't work. Hand off to Marshall. Huge hole to run through. Can he get the edge? He can't quite. Safety comes down and makes a tackle, but 15 yards for Justin Marshall on his first touch of the day. Little RPO, screen out to Vea. Cuts back inside. Tried to get around the block. Gets tackled. Gain of 5. Keeper for Haney. Cuts upfield. Going to come up short. It'll be 3rd and 1. FAU's apparently got like a blaring horn that plays on 3rd down. It's going to be a handoff for Marshall. Kind of runs into his own blockers, but it will be enough for a 1st down. Handoff for Marshall again. Cuts right up the middle. Gets a 1st down and gets down to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal. Hand out to Duke Clark. Nowhere to go. That D tackle just completely blew that play up. 2nd and goal from the 11. Gets it to Vea. Oh, and it's dislodged. That almost could have been a fumble he had in his hand for long enough, but it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 11 now. We get that to Montgomery. Makes the catch, and it's a touchdown! Zach Montgomery manages to keep his body in bounds, keep his feet in bounds, rather, and ends up scoring. Holy crap, the 4th string receiver. He's our 2nd slot receiver. Does not play much, has not played much really since season 1, but comes up with our 1st touchdown of the day here. And what awareness to keep it in bounds and take it into the end zone. What a play. And Clay Bishop knocks it through to make it a 7-0 ball game. Oh, it's a hit to the tight end. I thought that was going to the receiver, but it's going to be 2nd and inches for the Owls. It's going to be a handoff. Dakari Nelson chases him down and drops him in the backfield. It'll be 3rd and 1. Drop back, throw over the middle. It's caught, and it's a conversion. If there was a chance that underneath receiver could have seen that coming, that might have been an interception. Oh, play action in our edge. I think it was Simmons coming off the edge, destroyed the running back. Oh, and it's a huge running lane, and it's a big gain for FAU. Another 1st down. It's another handoff, another huge hole to run through. Hurdles our down defender. Paul Freeney comes up and saves the touchdown. Martavius Collins injured on the play. Looks like maybe a receiver of theirs, but this is just bad from the defense. My gosh. Draw play over to the edge. Kennedy couldn't get him, and it's a touchdown. FAU responds after giving up a touchdown. We had about as good a start to this game as you could hope, getting a stop on defense and then score on our first possession. But we just let them march right down on us there. I don't know what that is. Is that the Owl Eyes? Is that supposed to be Owl Eyes or something? Stacy Gage is the running back. Is the one who scored it. 5 carries for 43 and a touchdown. Jeez, oh Pete. It's quite a start for him, as the extra point is in fact up and good to tie it up at 7. Hand off to Marshall. Has some room, spinning and fighting ahead, gets 8. I believe that's the first touchdown we've given up in like, what, 3 games? I think we just saw that it was our last couple of games. We only allowed 3 points each. That's pretty impressive, having gone that long without allowing a touchdown. Triple option, definitely pitching that to Marshall. He's got it. Oh, and he gets a block. Oh, and he just gets held up enough, and that might have saved a touchdown. He looked like he had a ton of running room. Chester Elias has a bruised sternum, will not be able to return for this game. That must have happened on the kickoff, because I don't think he's played on offense yet. Gosh dang it. And off to Marshall. Not a lot of running room. Only gets 3. Keeper for Haney. Blocking sets up, and he powers ahead for the first down. Tough running. Pot past the pre-score, and he's got it. Nice little route down the seam, and Haney got it to him before he got too deep to the safeties, and it's another big play for this offense. Haney sends Vea upfield, and it's intercepted. The guy jumped the route, and it's a turnover right as the first quarter is coming to a close. That is not what we could afford to do. I thought Vea had the room behind him. I guess FAU's got their own turnover chain. I thought Vea had enough room, and Haney could fit it in there, but that dude jumped up and was able to make the play. Gosh dang it. My gosh, Freeney nearly drilled him in the backfield. He somehow spun free. They're going to try and call no huddle, but obviously that is not going to be enough time for that to happen. That brings us to the end of the first quarter. It is 7-7 tie here in Boca Raton, I think. And, yeah, run game's been dominant on both sides, it would appear. Both running backs with tremendous first quarter stat lines. Handoff. Kennedy makes the tackle. Good job. 3rd and long situation here for the Owls. I don't know how much I trust their passing game. I mean, they've had some good pass plays already, but honestly, their run game has been the thing that's been gashing us so far, which is surprising because I feel like in general we haven't allowed too much damage to us in the run game. Tried to set up a screen, and it just was not going to work. They're going to have to punt it now. Bethel Roman will be catching this at about midfield. A great opportunity here to give us some field position. And our kick coverage did a good job. We only get to the 43 of the Owls. It's going to be a handoff to Marshall up the middle. Lots of running room, and he gets the first down to the 31. Play action. Haney drops back and looks. I wanted Watkins, but he's pretty well covered. Blocking set up nicely, and Haney gets the first down, pushed out of bounds at the 17. Little RPO flip out to LeCount. Doesn't get much, only gets 1. I like Vea underneath. He catches it. Man, they're doing a good job against him in coverage, though. He's not getting a ton of separation. He's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Really? FAU has enough of a... Look at how many people are in the crowd. Why do I have any sort of squiggly lines? They do not have nearly enough fans to warrant that in this stadium right now. Oh, boy. Oh, I wanted to run that, but I'm not going to be able to. I'm just going to have to throw this away. Gosh dang it. 4th and 5. We're going to have to kick the field goal. Kick from Bishop is up and good. I snuck it inside the upright somehow. And, all right, we got the lead back at least. I'm disappointed we had to settle for the field goal on that one. Would have much preferred to go up a full touchdown, but can't complain too much about having a lead. Play action. Quarterback's looking. Is going to take off and run. Corcoran closed the gap, and the quarterback just slides down. Ooh, Adrian Corcoran comes down and makes the tackle. The freshman linebacker. It'll bring up 3rd and 4. Throw to the left side. It's caught. Phelps just couldn't stick to him well enough in coverage. All day for the quarterback. Ball's on the ground. Corcoran forced it out. It's picked up by, I believe, a tight end, but he's tackled them for a loss of 9. And Adrian Corcoran making a name for himself a couple plays in a row there in the place of Chester Kafka. Gosh dang, I wish we could have fallen on that. Over the middle, knocked out by Ostergaard. His second pass breakup of the game already. It's going to bring up 3rd and 19. Little RPO draw. Zaquan Batterson nearly had a chance to intercept that, actually. That would have been 6 the other way, but it's going to be a stop for the defense and a punt for the Owls. Play action. Oh, gosh, dang it. I would have loved to try and force that to Watkins, but after throwing 1 interception, making another ill-advised throw is probably not the best idea. And off to Duke. Clark has some room and is stopped short of the line of the gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. And he's just going to try to do it himself. He will get it done, and he will get the first down to the 36-yard line. 2.5 minutes left in the half. I want Watkins. I want Jelani deep. Does he have it? He makes the catch! A beautiful throw from Haas Haney deep down the field. Watkins comes down with it. The speedster is just unstoppable downfield, and we're just going to let the clock run to the 2-minute timeout, and a huge play for Freeport Tech here in the late stages of the first half as they're trying to punch it in to go up 2 scores. Hand off to Marshall. There was a seam. He just didn't quite get there in time. Speed option. Haney's just going to keep it. Guy played the pitch. Unfortunately, didn't really get anywhere. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. And this is not ideal. Got Watkins on the little drag. He is unable to get free and get the first down. Decision time. Honestly, I like what the OC's thinking here. I think we should go for this. Kicking a field goal just gives us a 6-point lead. That doesn't feel good enough to me. 4th and 3, a huge opportunity for both the offense and the defense here late in the first half. Tried to get to Bethel Roman, and it's batted away and falls incomplete. A turnover on downs. That's exactly what we didn't want to do, was come up empty. With 1 minute and 5 left, FAU has 1 timeout at their disposal. Throw to the right side. Marquez Vick comes over. I believe that is going to be listed as a pass breakup. I think it fell incomplete. Underneath to the receiver. Oh, he got free for the first down. I was really hoping we keep him short and run more clock off. Another short throw to the tight end, and he manages to get out of bounds. Paul Freeney comes up injured on the play. That's not good. Our safety depth is not great on this team. It's kind of Zaquan, Freeney, and then Cortez Brady, who I assume will come in for him. Doesn't look like it's too serious, but definitely something that could linger for him. Throw to the right side. I didn't even see the running back over there. He broke a tackle, I think. It's still going to be short of the line to gain. 3rd and 2. Of course, they're running no huddle. Quarterback throws it, and it's caught. Kennedy could not quite get over to break it up. Back spasms for Paul. And yeah, we'll sub in Cortez Brady for now. Throw to the right side. That same big, stupid tight end, number 13, who I think has had about 7 catches for them in this first half. All day, the pass rush just not doing anything. The quarterback gets loose down the sideline. How did you let that happen? Who let him free? There was a guy over there that just let him go, and that is the one thing we couldn't afford to do, was let him get into field goal range. And that's exactly where they are now. Over the middle, Ostergaard couldn't break it up, and it's going to be... They have called a timeout, so they've got pretty much no time left. They're going to run up and spike this. And that will allow them to kick a field goal before the end of the half, and that's exactly what they're going to try and do. Kick is up, and kick is good. It was a 35-yarder, roughly. Very makeable distance, and that's exactly what they did. They execute the 1 minute, 1 timeout drilled to perfection. They were very fortunate to get out of bounds, to get first downs when they did. That would have run significant time off had they not been able to. And unfortunately, it is a tie game at the half against FAU. On the bright side, we will be getting the ball to start in the second half, but we're going to need a little bit more out of the offense. And we've dropped 52 and 45 or whatever in our last 2 games. I think 40-something the game before that. The offense has been awesome for us, basically since the loss to A&M. And we're going to need them in this game for sure. Handoff will be to Duke Clark, who has some running lane. Vea throws a block. Clark nearly squeaks through there, but it's a huge play on our first play of this second half. Nowhere to go for Marshall there, only gets 2. Good throw from Haney to stand strong there in the pocket, and it's going to be very close to a first down, 3rd and 1. Hand off to Clark, and you think he's going to get it. Yes, he is. First down, Marlins. Keeper for Haney runs it out to the left side. Tried to kind of fall behind Prescore and ended up kind of getting in his way. Hand off to Marshall. Good running room for him. Great blocking up front, and it's another first down. Play action. I'm going to give Prescore a chance, and it's intercepted. That was probably a dumb decision. I figured he's 6'6". Maybe if I just throw it up to him, he can come down with it. But the defensive player got position on him, and it's a turnover. Gosh dang it. How in the world did that get completed? It's the same play again, and... Oh, come on! You cannot carry him forward for a first down. What are you doing? Another RPO, this time a little screen, only gets 2 yards. Quick throw to the left side. Phelps does get the tackle, but not before they get the first down. Stacy Gage, the running back, injured on the play. Quick throw to the right side. 2 corners out there did contain. Underneath to the receiver. We do stack him up, keep him short of the line to gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. Fake the jet sweep, handoff. Not gonna... Oh no, he broke free from Foreman's tackle, but he is gonna get stacked up and come up short, and a huge, huge stop for the defense. And it's gonna be 4th and 5, and they're gonna punt it. I believe Zaquan Patterson came down and finished that tackle. Running out of Power Eye Hulk, and it didn't go anywhere. Not only that, Justin Marshall gets injured on the play, which is just so much worse. Screen to Duke. Does good to get about 7, make it much more manageable with leg cramps for Justin Marshall. And we'll sub in Duke Clark in the meantime. Bethel Roman gets open, and Bethel Roman has the first down. Okay, that play action took way too long for Haney to set up to throw, and we ended up taking a sack. Get it to Prescorn. Makes it slightly more manageable. It'll be 3rd and long. I'm just going to run this with Haney, try and get it. And we will get it. Oh, what a move to get around the ref. Throw a flag. It's a late hit out of bounds. But either way, a great run from Haney and put the move on the corner to get a few extra yards out of it as well. Marshall's back in the game. I'm not sure why. He's still showing like a good amount of wear and tear. So I'm going to sub him back out. Fortunately, he won't be getting the ball here. And we're... Okay, well, I tried to just throw it to Prescorn, but somehow it ended up getting hit and it fell incomplete. Duke Clark gets the carry, has the burst, and gets the first down. A great run. That linebacker was not blocked by anybody, but Clark just accelerated right past him. And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. A scoreless third quarter, I believe. Still 10-10. And we have the ball, fortunately, but we have got to get a touchdown on this drive. We cannot afford to come up empty and just wait for them to get the lead from us. So this is a huge drive we're on right now. Hand off to Clark. Cuts back. Tried to fight off that defender. Couldn't quite, but it'll be 2nd and 3. Keeper for Haney again. Can he get the edge? He does! Does he have a touchdown? Can he just get past that last man? He could not. Gets forced out of bounds at the 2. And Kevin Haywood, our starting right tackle, injured on the play. That's not what you want to see. He has been very good for us. A transfer land from this past offseason. Hopefully that isn't serious. Clark couldn't get anywhere. Bruised ribs for Kevin Haywood will return to. We'll sub in Tyron Davis, who I believe is a freshman. Throw it to Clark. Fights ahead. Touchdown. Freeport Tech. We audibled at the line of scrimmage. I noticed there weren't a lot of defenders on the right side. And we call a little screen to Duke. Clark on the outside. And he's able to power his way in to give us a 17, with barring the extra point, a 17-10 lead. But man, oh man, what a game this has been. Very tough fought, especially on offense. I mean, we've had to earn every yard we've gotten. The 2 turnovers haven't helped either. But now we're in a position where if we get a stop, we have a chance to seize control of the game. It's a handoff. Kennedy somehow able to make that tackle, drops him for a loss of 2. Screen to the running back. Kennedy was getting blocked, couldn't get off it, but a good tackle from J.D. Drew. Going to bring up 3rd and 8. Another draw play. And this one's going to get him the first down. Come on, defense. We cannot let that happen. That's awful. Oh my gosh, will someone get home, please? Somehow they get it completed. I mean, if he's standing back there for 10 seconds, obviously he's going to be able to find somebody eventually. Straight handoff. Oh, Derek Simmons just there to meet. Not Derek Simmons. Justin Simmons there to meet him in the backfield. Gosh dang. Oh, no, it is Derek Simmons. What am I thinking? Why am I getting confused on my own players' names sometimes? Oh, it's completed. Wide open on the slant route, and it's going to be a huge play for FAU to get down deep within our territory. Another handoff, and it's about 6. Quick throw. Marquez Vick makes the tackle. It was only him out there. He had to be the guy to get him. Another little screen. Brady comes up and makes a tackle, but he does get the line to gain. Gosh dang it, we just cannot get off the field. Oh, defender gets stiff-armed by the backup running back, and he gets 8. Screen pass. Can Corcoran get out there? Somehow can't get him. And he actually broke that tackle as well, but he's down at the 6. It's another handoff. Oh my gosh, Chris Foreman saved a touchdown. Somehow he got him. Holy crap. It's a keeper for the quarterback, and the edge didn't maintain, and it's going to be a touchdown for Florida Atlantic here with about 3 minutes left on the clock. I don't know how we let that happen. We had that play stopped, and then I don't know if it was Simmons on the edge or whoever. The extra point's good, and that will officially tie the game up. With just over 3 minutes to go, we got to get points again. Handoff to Jalen Brooks, who gets about 3, getting a little bit of look with Justin Marshall on the sideline still. Vea makes the catch off the play action. I was trying to get one more play off. We were unable to, unfortunately. That brings us to the 2-minute timeout, and we're at about the 41. We don't need to panic. We can still afford to run the ball a little bit here, but obviously time's starting to not be on our side. Oh gosh, nowhere to go for Duke there. Vea makes the catch, spinning and fighting ahead, gets close. It'll be 3rd and 3. Vea again makes the catch, gets the first down. Again, we're really fighting time now at this point. Haney running for his life. Does he have room down the sideline? It looks like he does. Haas Haney is loose, and Haas Haney steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line. How in the world did he get out of that? Oh my gosh, they were all over that play. Holy crap. We're obviously in field goal range, which is why they called timeout, but I want to end the game with... I either want to score a touchdown or end the game with the ball in my hands. I do not want to leave this up to them potentially being able to get a field goal too. FAU underneath. Oh, I tried to get him to juke around the defender. Couldn't quite do it. A few more seconds come off the clock. There's 37 seconds left now. Got it to Watkins, and he's got the first down as well. A huge catch for our #1 receiver. FAU used their final timeout there as well. Duke Clark gets the carry, and it's going to be a touchdown. Duke Clark gets into the end zone. Yeah, the smart move there is probably to just just kneel down and get the field goal, but I'm not going to tell a player to not score a touchdown there. Holy, what a run. Just the Red Sea parted in front of him. O-line did a fantastic job. They just throw it underneath to the tight end. I can't imagine why that was what they decided to do there. That's just going to cause time to run off the clock. Now they're going to set up to spike it. Make it 3rd and 3 with 19 seconds left. Just another throw underneath, this time to the running back. If nothing else, that'll get them closer to a more appropriate Hail Mary range, as they're almost assuredly going to run up and spike this again. And they will with 8 seconds on the clock. Oh, gosh dang, what happened there? And with 3 seconds on the clock, they're now very close to the end zone. The question is, will they be able to get this play off? It looks like they're going to try. They're not. They're going to run out of time. That's going to do it. Florida Atlantic comes up short, and they are unable to get off their last gasp effort. Oh, that's got to sting for their team and their fans. Holy crap. I mean, they executed that perfect. I don't know what happened. I think I got flipped to a corner for some reason. Like, I think it did the thing where I used the right stick, and it thought I was using the switch stick or whatever they call it. But I didn't want to, and I think I ended up leaving that guy open down the seam, and it nearly costed us, at the very least, a very reasonable chance at a touchdown for them at the end there. But either way, we survived. Holy crap, 24-17, your final here from Boca Raton. And their quarterback was pretty outstanding, didn't have any touchdowns on the game, but also didn't turn it over, but only had 5 incompletions. Haas Haney was pretty good through the air, 17-25 for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, the 2 interceptions as well is far from ideal. It was certainly something that kept FAU in the game because both interceptions that were thrown came pretty... At the very least, the interceptions happened near their end zone. I don't remember where we were necessarily, if we were that close to scoring or not, but those, they kill drives, and it gives the other team momentum, so you can't have too many of those. Haney was also our leading rusher on today, had 10 carries for 100 yards. Of course, the biggest one was his miracle scramble to get away from the pass rush and get loose down the left sideline to get us into field goal range was the thought at the time, but obviously we ended up scoring a few plays later. Justin Marshall had 11 carries for 80, was awesome, did get injured, did not really come back in, I don't think, so except for they did force him back in and I had to sub him back out again. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't linger for him. That would be too bad. He's been so good for us, obviously. Duke Clark had 10 carries for 60, was very good in relief. Had the touchdown as well to give us the lead with about 30 seconds left. And then Jalen Brooks, another senior, got 1 carry for 3 yards. So he was once our running back 1, but obviously due to transfer portal mostly has taken more of a back seat. Jelani Watkins, our leading receiver on today, had 3 catches for 61, including a 51-yard bomb. Awesome to see that. Always great to see him get open deep downfield, and it is very hard to hang with him, that's for sure. Ofisa Vea had 7 catches, but only for 49 yards, so ran a lot of underneath stuff. He ended up being kind of our go-to guy on a lot of those drives. Their secondary played very well for the most part. I felt like most of the passes that I completed were pretty short, or like screens and stuff like that. Brady Priest scored at 2 for 31. Zach Montgomery had 1 catch for 11 yards and a touchdown. Great to see that from him. A senior who was obviously a huge piece of our offense in Season 1. Ashton Bethel-Roman had an 11-yard catch. Duke Clark had 2 catches for 11 yards. One of them was for a touchdown as well, right near the goal line. And Eric LeCount, the backup tight end, had 1 catch for 1 yard. Blocking, Peyton Kirkland had 7 pancakes. Kevin Haywood also had 7. I didn't pay attention if he came back in the game or not. Hopefully his injury is also not serious, because him and Kirkland have just been maulers at the bookends of our O-line. Alonzo Gage had 4 pancakes as well. Dante Korn had 2. Tim Whiteheart had 2. And Duke Clark was credited with giving up the 1 sack. That's kind of interesting. Defensively, let's see. Marquez Vick had 8 tackles. JD Drew had 8 tackles. That actually sounds right. I feel like I called these 2 guys' names a lot. They were around the ball a lot, that's for sure. Corbin Ostergaard had 7. Cortez Brady came in and played mostly in relief of Paul Freeney, who went down with an injury. So nice to see him come home with 6 tackles. Dylan Phelps had 6 as well. A lot of secondary players involved. Zaquan Patterson with 5. Speaking of secondary players, Xavier Kennedy had 5 as well. Quite a few TFLs. Holy crap. Xavier Kennedy had 2. And then Derek Simmons, Reed Harmon, Dimitri Dunsmore, Adrian Corcoran. Nice to see that name come up here. Again, I'll have to check on Kafka and see what happened to him. Zaquan Patterson, Dakari Nelson, JD Drew, and Cortez Brady each with 1. So a lot of guys bringing guys down in the backfield. Adrian Corcoran had, of course, this 1 sack, which was a strip sack. And it's too bad that we were unable to actually recover it, because that would have been a huge shift in momentum there. We ended up not actually forcing any turnovers on the day, which is, I don't know if surprising is the right word, but you like to get at least 1, you know? And then Ostergaard had 2 pass deflections, both just huge hits he laid on the pass catcher, and he jarred the ball loose. Marquez Vick with 1 of his own as well. So at the end of the day, a solid showing from the defense. I found myself kind of frustrated with them on certain drives, specifically the ones that the Owls scored on, obviously. But for the most part, the defense played all right. It was the offense that was a little more worrisome, I guess you could say, putting up 24. Now, FAU, again, way better team than obviously Navy and Tulsa are, so maybe I shouldn't be like too surprised about their offense not looking as good. But you'd like to see us put up a few more points than that, ideally. But at the end of the day, we won. Can't complain too much. Road Warriors. The Marlins moved to 7-0 in American Conference play after a win over Florida Atlantic. Road Warrior is certainly a great expression to use. It was a tough game, as we kind of expected. We knew going in that FAU was a very quality opponent, and to expect us to just waltz in and win easily would have been pretty naive. And the team showed up, fought through some adversity, and we came away with a 7-point win on the road. So all in all, great to see it. We'll go ahead and advance the week on ahead, and we'll see what happens on the recruiting trail. And I guess we'll see if Tulane also will be rolling into the next week undefeated in conference play. Quite a few updates here. Quincy Tobin, the corner, has reached his top 5. We're the only school that offered him a scholarship. Taj Bobo has reached his top 5 as well. We have a narrow lead over Louisville. Lester Cheek has reached his top 5. Nebraska has a pretty commanding lead over us for him. Philip Ayu has reached his top 8. Georgia leading the charge there. Dennis Hicks has reached his top 8 as well. Only school that offers him a scholarship is us. Michael Stovall has reached his top 8. It looks like Minnesota getting in on the action now. So us, a Power 4 school, we're going to have to fight off for him. And Lamarcus Sash has also reached his top 8. No competition for us on the scholarship front. Devontae Crowther is one of those other edge rushers, has reached his top 8. Looks like Tulane offered him a scholarship, and that was enough to get him to lock us out, even though we also, I think, offered him a scholarship, so not sure what to do with that. And Zay Castile did also officially commit to Texas A&M, but that was expected. I probably should have taken him off my board. I don't know why I did, to be honest. Oh boy, we are up to number 8 in the country. Tulane is up to number 19 in the country. They are undefeated in conference play at 7-0, so that means they must have beaten Temple last week, which I believe I think that actually cements us as the definitive top 2 in the conference. Yeah, it does. So look at us. We're both 7-0 in conference play. USF and Temple both have 2 losses. So this is it. We're going to have to play them again, regardless of the outcome of this one, which is a little bit annoying because I'd like to just beat them once and be done with them. But it's looking like we're going to have to play them again. And the winner will probably go to the conference. And the winner of whoever wins the conference, I guess, will probably go to the college football playoff regardless. So that's a little bit of a messy setup for us. Unless maybe if we win the first one definitively enough, it doesn't matter. But I would think the college football playoff would prefer to take whoever wins the actual conference. So I guess the game this week doesn't mean a ton, but I want to win it. I don't care. I'm way too competitive for that kind of mindset. I want to be 8-0 in conference play, 11-1 overall, and then I want to beat them again in the American Conference Championship game. So it's shaping up to be quite the finish here. Man, they're up to number 19 in the country as well. This is going to be a tough game for us. But that is going to do it for this week. We got a good win. We avoided the upset against Florida Atlantic, and we are going to roll into New Orleans to take on Tulane next week. And we're going to have our hands full for sure, as the headline there says. So that's for next week. It's going to be a huge game. But we got there undefeated in conference play, which is awesome. And we'll have some stuff to do on the recruiting trail as well. Obviously, that one edge locked us out, so I guess I'll have to scout the other guy instead. But is what it is. That's going to do it again for us this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Love and appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll see all y'all in my next episode. Later, y'all.